Today's video is going to show you how to register and apply for PPP forgiveness using the SBA PPP Loan Direct Forgiveness Portal. First, for your safety and security, you're going to want to make sure you're on the official SBA website, and that is directforgiveness.sba.gov. You'll also need to register for an account if you haven't already, and that's what we're going to do next. To sign up, you just have to create a username and enter your email, and then enter a password. And of course, you have to follow the rules with the 12-character minimum, one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, one number, and a special character at minimum. Once you've filled out those sections, you click Sign Up at the bottom. Then you'll need to verify your email address. Once you receive the email from the SBA, just click on the link to verify your email address. Once this is confirmed, you'll be allowed to continue. Then you'll just need to sign in using the username and password that you just created. Enter a phone number so that you can complete the two-factor authentication step. Once the text message comes through, enter it here and click Verify. This brings you into the portal. Here we can see that this request can be finished in about 10 minutes or less. Also, they're telling us that here's the information that we're going to need to continue. So hopefully you saved a copy of your original application, and once approved, you saved a copy of your promissory note from the SBA. This will have critical information such as the loan amount and your SBA loan number. Also, we can take a guided tour of the process or continue straight into the Start the New Forgiveness request, which is what we're going to do next. When you originally applied for your PPP loan, you had to provide a tax identification number, and this would either be your Social Security number, the EIN, or the ITIN, depending on what you used at the time, whatever was applicable. The portal allows you to either enter in the PPP loan amount or the SBA loan number. Once the system finds your loan, it will bring you to the area showing your loan details. Here you can see information on your lender, the general support phone number, your PPP loan amount, your SBA number, and your lender loan number. Also, at the bottom you can see the status of your application. Just review this section and make sure the business information is correct and fill in any fields that are necessary to continue. The SBA records will show when your PPP loan draw date occurred, the amount of your PPP loan, and the disbursement date up at the top. Also, you'll see the covered period start date, which is typically the date you receive your funds, and then you can choose your covered period. It will also automatically fill in the covered period end date. Now, using your application when you first applied, that's where you'll find the employees at the time of the loan application. So this information needs to match what you originally put in. Then you have to put in the number of employees at the time of your forgiveness request. So as you're filling out this information, however many people you have on payroll at that time, that's where you'll enter here. Also at the bottom, you'll notice the amount of loan spent on payroll. Now, for most people applying for forgiveness, the payroll cost will, qualify you for complete forgiveness. So let's just say, for example, you got a $10,000 PPP loan and you had payroll of $15,000, for that covered period. Well, you have, fulfilled the $10,000, you had more than that, but you fulfilled the $10,000 amount of loan. Now, even though you actually had greater than the loan amount of payroll expenses, at the bottom you should only fill in the same amount of your loan. If you try to enter in the actual payroll amount, the system won't let you continue. They're just asking you these to figure out what you qualify for the loan. So if your payroll costs don't completely cover the amount of the loan for forgiveness purposes, the next section would then ask you, what about your utility costs and the other items that are on the list of, things that qualify for forgiveness. But again, for most people applying, payroll is a very significant expense, and that's typically going to be how you qualify for forgiveness. Here we can see the drop-down selections for the covered period. Most people are going to pick the 24-week covered period because that just gives you a greater period of time to see what your payroll and utilities and other qualified expenses, are covered. There's also a demographic details area that is optional for you to fill out. However, just know that this is the way the SBA tries to figure out how successful were their outreach efforts. They had different programs, targeted toward veteran business owners and, women-owned businesses and minority-owned business owners. And this is kind of a way of them calculating how successful were their outreach programs. And you can choose to fill this in or not. Now, depending on the amount of your PPP loan and some other factors, you may or may not need to supply supporting documents. But remember, no matter what, make sure you have your supporting documentation for down the road in the event you go through a PPP loan audit. Have everything saved now when it's easy to find, and that way you won't be scrambling later in the event you come under review. Once you complete those sections, you will come to the summary of your forgiveness request area. And here's your last chance to just kind of give everything a once over, make sure the information is correct, and you'll then submit and continue to the electronic signature through DocuSign. Here you'll see the electronic version of the application with all of your information filled in, and you can then continue and electronically sign. Then you'll receive a confirmation of your submission. Later, you'll have to come back to the portal and log in to get the rest of the records of your confirmation from the SBA. You'll want to keep all of that documentation pretty much forever in the event you come under review. A convenient way to store all of those records is also inside of your accounting software. So for example, if you're using QuickBooks Online, in your vendor for the SBA loan, you can attach all of those documents, and then they are easy and secure. You can access them anytime needed. You'll see in the status area that your e-signature is now processing. The portal also provides helpful links to other articles and information that you may need. If you found this information helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others. You can also visit our website, accountingassistanceteam.com, where you can find additional helpful resources.